that has been circulated, the media, especially social media, is all fake news. Our father, the late Alhaji Ahmed Galadima Patigi, and our father, Ajia Abdul Razak, have worked together since the 50s, working towards our country's independence and beyond to build their country, Nigeria. Today, nature has made it possible and given us the opportunity to serve our state and parents by changing the narrative of what we have found ourselves today as a state. This is because all that our founding fathers built have been left to ruin and deterioration right before our eyes. We, as an administration, are now the part of governance, not campaigns, not politics as usual, but here to deliver the mandate given to us by you, the people. We can agree to disagree. Or disagree to agree. But anything short of this becomes unhealthy and unwarranted. There's a time for partisan politics. Now is a time for bipartisan politics. Time to come together and join hands as a people, irrespective of party, to build a new power for our generation yet unborn. I debunk claims about the 300 million misappropriation of local government funds. I never made a pronouncement like that, nor did I ask anyone to write or say anything like that on my behalf. These are malicious rumors which were formed by figment of bloggers' imaginations. I therefore want to state here in clear terms. 1, that the general public should disregard the rumors of financial misappropriation of 300 million local government funds. The local government funds are intact. All write-ups circulating online or in conventional media attributing such claims to me are lies orchestrated by naysayers that I call propagandists. Those peddling fake stories should desist or be ready to face the full wrath of the law. Number 2, I also want to clear the air on this side of myself, another commissioner for finance, Mrs. Florence Olasunbo, engaging in fake stuff. Again, these are ridiculous claims by bloggers. It is false and unfounded and needs to be disregarded in its entirety. We never exchange blows. Likewise, my other colleagues were a team working towards our mandate. His Excellency has created an enabling and friendly atmosphere for all the competent members to work peacefully and harmoniously. His Excellency is a God-fearing and financially disciplined person who has zero tolerance for corruption. His focus is to deliver his quota to Quarrels, and my focus, along with my fellow colleagues, is to assist him in the actualization of vision for our dear Kwara State. I hereby advise the public to always be guided by the truth. And I will emphasize that the governor, Abdurrahman Razak, is a decent and honest individual who will never preside over such fraudulent acts in his administration. For our Oscar award-winning writers, let us put our typing hands together to rewrite our history towards creativity and innovative ideas that will lead us to the next frontier in Africa. So let us start with our dear Kwara State, the state of Harmony. May Allah bless Kwara State, bless the people, and bestow on us His rahmah, guidance, wisdom to pilot the affairs of Kwara State. Amen. Thank you all with love and gratitude to us all.
Assalamu alaikum. To date, top government functionaries, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, since our inauguration last year to date, workers at all levels of government have been receiving their complete wages as and when due. This includes workers at the local government level. Until our coming, salaries of local government workers have been either delayed or not paid at all, for weeks running into billions of naira. We ended the era of salary delays and incomplete salary on account of prejudice, discipline, and a determination not to mismanage the funds of local governments. I'm also not aware of any borrowings to pay salaries at any level of government. I was therefore shocked to hear the allegations of persons diverting 300 million monthly from local government funds since we came on board. However, rather than let such claims go unattended, we felt that the right thing to do was to allow unfettered scrutiny of every kobo spent or accrued to local government and disbursed since May 29, 2019 to date. I believe this would deepen accountability and establish true financial status of local government areas and contribute to the debate on wages, local government administration, and grassroots development. With this allegation in place, we were constrained and had to make sure the right thing was done. That was why we asked the House of Assembly to conduct a hearing into it, and I believe they've started, and I'm not sure when they will complete that. They have their independence and they have their time to do what they need to do. But last week, the Commissioner for Finance called me and told me that the EFCC came to the ministry and have begun their own investigation. We did invite the EFCC to conduct an investigation into it. For us, it's surprising because we know on average over the past year, funding for local government from Federation account has been about 2.6 billion. And salaries, pensions, gratuities is in the region of 2.6 billion. To the extent that local governments are finding it difficult to deliver on services, cleaning of markets, medical services, there's such difficulties in that tier of government. So that's why we're surprised when we're being told that 300 million is being siphoned every month. So we want to put an end to that. That's why we said we should bring in independent, honorable people to look at it judiciously and find also a lasting solution to these things. My Lord, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I thank you most sincerely for accepting to be part of this assignment. I will not interfere in your proceedings nor will I authorize anyone to do so on my behalf. You have free hands to do the needful, what you need to do. And I thank you all, and God bless you all.
Malam Abrahman Abasak promised for zero tolerance for corruption and mismanagement, the need to promote high standard of transparency and accountability in the conduct of government business and affairs. His Excellency has elected to place all cards open to public scrutiny. It is against this background that the panel of inquiry to be chaired by Honorable Justice M.O. Adewara Retire is set up to look into the finances of the local government from the inception of the present administration to date. The Commission's core responsibility are to investigate all funds that accrue to each of the 16 local governments of the state, with particular reference to statutory allocations from the federal government and amount received from the internally generated revenue from Kwara State Revenue Service into the joint allocation account committee, and disbursement made to each local government in line with JAC regulations and guidelines, among other issues relating to the finances of the local government since the inception of this administration. The panel is composed of nominees of security agencies, that is the police and DSS, civil society groups, professional bodies like MBA, ICANN, and labor union, each of whom is bringing on board character and integrity. The selection process that produces the chairman and members of this panel is a clear demonstration of His Excellency to at all times live above board in the management of affairs and resources of the state. I wish the panel a productive, fruitful celebration. Thank you for listening.